Hello and welcome to FPL Have a Beer. Although today I'm on the Pepsi Max, we're recording this quite early in the afternoon. Where I invite you to have a Pepsi Max with me as it is today, while I talk FPL. So in this very special one-off video, I am delighted to be joined by the FPL Challenge winner of last season. Now it is, isn't it? Zawad. We're going to talk about Zawad's FPL Challenge season, what it was like to be the first FPL Challenge winner, and we're also going to touch upon how Challenge FPL can improve the Challenge game to make it more popular and attract a bigger player base next season. But first, please like the stream to help get it out there, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to keep up to date with the channel going into next season. I'm aware the fixtures came out today, and I'm going to cover that hopefully in those in the stream with FPL Nightmare in a couple of days to help me get up to 1,000 subscribers. Also, if you have any questions you would like to ask myself, or more importantly, Zawad, please do put those in the chat. I'm not going to be checking the chat through the whole thing, but we will have a look at the end if there's any particular questions. So with that all said, Zawad, or to give you your full title, Zawad FPL Challenge Champion, thanks for coming on, mate. How are you?
I'm doing fine, mate. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction.
Yeah, how's it been since winning? I know you said you've got quite a bit of attention. You're from Bangladesh, aren't you?
Yes, I'm from Bangladesh.
Yeah.
It's in South Asia.
And you've got quite a bit of attention, is that right, from having won there?
Well, not much, but I would say it was lovely since I won the FPL challenge.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be. And you went on official FPL. Is this your second interview after being on official FPL?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went for some TV interviews and newspaper interviews as well, but
Oh wow.
in England, this is my second one.
So in Bangladesh, you did some TV and newspaper interviews.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a chat through what it was like winning it, and then we're also going to have a chat about how they could perhaps improve the game going forward. So before we start, David, maybe could you? So I was looking this up, sort of researching the video. So could you maybe try and turn the volume down on your microphone, earphones, just a little bit, because I can still hear a little bit of feedback on my own voice.
All right.
But I was just wondering if you could maybe tell anyone who's not played FPL Challenge before, because I believe FPL overall as a game is played by about 11 million, or at least at the start of the season there is about 11 million. I think there were 2.2 million Challenge players. So just for anyone out there who's not maybe played Challenge before, could you just give a brief description of what it's like, what's in it? It's very different from the main game, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. FPL Challenge is a new format of the main FPL game. So here the point system works the same as the main FPL game, and you pick players based on their performances, and you predict players based on the predictions you do for the main FPL game. But the twist is you get to pick a new team every game week, and there are certain rules in every game week, such as certain players score double points, or I remember one challenge in a certain game week where players who got a yellow card got -5 instead of a -1, and red card -10.
Right.
This was the whole scenario all throughout the season. And it started basically last season, where FPL tried out the beta version in the last few game weeks of the 23-24 season. And this was the 24-25 was the first full season of FPL Challenge.
And first full win, yeah. So they have challenges like,
Yeah.
I mean, I played it on and off last season. I would dip into the odd game weeks. Like you can only pick like one player from each club, or you can only pick players for bottom teams. You know, there's all sorts of different challenges. You can only pick strikers, all different sorts of connotations like that, isn't there?
Yes.
Just a couple of questions in the chat. Rose O'Donnell says, when do the players' prices come out? That's going to be when the game gets released, which I believe, we don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I believe it will probably be mid-July. I think Fantasy Football Scout are speculating July the 14th. And Cole, who's a regular to the channel, hi Cole, says, hi Zawad, which week was your favourite week? And if you could bring one game week into FPL, which would it be? You want to answer that one now, Zawad? I think
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, mate. Sorry.
I can do that if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first, my favorite game week was in game week 17, where I picked players based on the challenge was home players got double points.
Right.
So I went all in with Fulham players, since they were home to a Southampton side who were struggling a lot in front of the goal, at least until that point of the season. So it went well. My Fulham defense got a clean sheet, and I got a whopping 96 points from 4 players.
Awesome.
And yeah, and my captaincy pick was Salah, and he trashed the Spurs side, where Liverpool went on to win the game 6-3.
So you'd like to see that moved into the main game for 1 week, maybe, like
yeah, definitely, I'd love that.
Or it could be a chip, couldn't it? Like all your home players get double points or something like that.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
So
instead of the mystery chip.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of chips. There's a lot of chips there. Hi, Geddy. So before we get on to the FPL challenge stuff, I was going to ask you, generally, how long have you been playing the main FPL game for Zawad? And also, what is your general rank history like in the overall game?
So I've been playing FPL since 2018. My elder brother introduced me to the game in that year. Before that, I did not watch the Premier League that much, but since I started to play FPL, I really got into the Premier League, and eventually I got in love with the Premier League. And then since then, I played all the seasons, and I also played the FPL challenge while it was in testing phase at the end of last season. So to answer the question how my rank was in FPL, I was in and around the top 10K.
Wow.
Since 2018. Yeah, my best finish was 1927th in the 2021-22 season.
Wow.
And I was aiming for a top 1K this season, but played the wildcard wrong in game week 30. It was my mistake to delay it till the game week deadline. I pressed play wildcard right at the last minute. And after the game went live, I realized that I had taken a -40 hit.
Oh,
so
bloody hell.
I got disappointed and sad, and I got lost interest from the main FPL, and eventually I finished inside the top 75,000.
Okay, that's still a good finish. Better than my finish.
Yeah,
I didn't waste.
Especially given I won the FPL challenge sideways.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure. The chat can correct me wrong. I think James from Planet FPL did that this season. So you're not in bad company. Occasionally making mistakes like that. So you're a good solid general player then of the normal game, as well as obviously being the best FPL challenge player we've got so far.
Yes, you can count me as a non-casual as per the FPL Twitter. So I'm not a casual.
Okay, so let's go on now to talk about FPL Challenge itself. So what was your attitude towards FPL Challenge at the start of the game? So a lot of people like myself, I play it. To be honest with you, I gave up playing it after about 4 game weeks because it was always going to be I make the moves in my main team and then quickly go along and do whatever the FPL Challenge was. But to be honest with you, after the deadline stream and stuff, I'm usually so mentally shattered that I just forgot to, you forget to do it a couple of weeks, and then I didn't really go back into it. So look, at the start of the season, what was your main focus on? The challenge or normal FPL? What was your feelings about challenge at the start of the season?
As usual, I was highly excited about the main FPL game because I had no expectation from FPL Challenge. I was just excited, and I took it as a fun to play game, the new format. But as always, I concentrated wholly on the FPL Classic game.
Yeah.
But if I didn't even know that at the time that FPL Challenge has such prizes lined up for the champion. So uh, it was strange, but
Yeah.
ended in a different way.
Are the prizes they're identical, aren't they, to the main game? Is that
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, absolutely identical.
Yeah. What are they? You might as well tell us now. What are the
Yeah,
prizes?
it's a 7-day UK trip with two VIP hospitality tickets to
Awesome.
two Premier League matches, and along with accommodation and travel. Um, Alongside, they're giving a Hublot watch, a laptop, and a noise cancelling headphone, and
Right.
FPL goodie bag.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
Any idea who you're going to come and see play yet? Who do you support, by the way, man?
I support Manchester United, and
I'm
I'm lined up. After the fixture release today, I was discussing with my elder brother that I would definitely watch the United game where they host Chelsea in September 20th.
nice.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, yeah. I bet you'll be in like a nice hotel and everything, and you'll
Yeah.
that'll be pretty good. So to get back to what sort of what strategies did you use to playing FPL Challenge? Because obviously within normal FPL, there's strategies. Don't take too many hits, or my brain is frosted over after 3 weeks off. Don't make early transfers. There's all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there strategies in FPL Challenge? And if so, what ones were they? What did you?
I don't think so. For me, I did not follow any strategies at all. I just followed a simple rule, which too I'd say unconsciously, which is to pick players based on forms and fixtures, and not go with the flow of the rule, the double points of picking specific players from specific clubs. So I just pick players based on their forms and performances, and one thing I followed, I tried to find out players who do well after seeing the team sheets. I tried to find out the zonal weaknesses, especially if I saw that an opponent had a defender injured or rested. I would play the striker or right winger or left winger against that opponent. And I think I showed courage in picking certain players. I'd say I picked differentials very often.
Well, I guess in a lot of ways, your preparation for the main game is gonna overlap into challenge, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
if you're prepared for the main game,
exactly.
you're going to be prepared for challenge.
Definitely.
Uh,
Yeah.
got a question here from Zayran. What was your biggest motivation in your whole FPL challenge journey?
Well, my biggest motivation, I would say, was my family, my country, because to be honest, I did not realize I was in a good chance to win the FPL challenge, but before Game Week 34. But afterwards, when I realized it, my family motivated me. My wife, my elder brother. I have a younger brother as well. My father. They're all so passionate about football, and
Oh, it's great.
they constantly motivated me, and um, they believed in me. They believed that I could win, and I thought that if I win, I can promote my country's footballing scenario in a global level. So that motivated me as well.
I was going to say, is FPL, well, Premier League and FPL, are they big in Bangladesh? I imagine the Premier League is FPL.
No,
Oh,
in Bangladesh they have a domestic league, which
mm,
is called BPL, but they have no fantasy Premier League of it because it is not that popular. And we're still developing because my country's global FIFA ranking is near the last few countries
right.
in the, yeah, very, very far away from the top 100 FIFA rankings.
Yeah, so it's not a popular sport in general. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Bangladesh got a decent cricket team. Am I right in thinking?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. They're very famous for their cricketing history, and people love cricket here.
yeah,
But there are also people who love football, but they don't get to express that much because the country is not invested in it that much.
yeah. Sure. Is that the Bangladeshi football kit? Someone comes asked in the chat.
Yes,
It is.
yes. This
It's
is
very
my country's flag, and this is the logo.
very stylish. I love
This is
the bits on the sides there.
Yeah. If you did not know, Bangladesh is very famous for their kit designs, and many Premier League clubs get their Premier League kits designed and manufactured from Bangladesh,
Oh, really?
since this country is very famous for their garments industry.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So going into the final day, game week 38, like what were the metrics like? Did you know you'd won? Was it like a final day fight out, and were you nervous?
Yes, definitely. As far as I remember, I had a 12-point margin with the lad in the second position,
Okay.
and he had a 10 or 12-point difference with the third position. So I just knew that I had to pick my captaincy. I had to get my captaincy pick in the right
So
slot because
what was the challenge on the final game week?
it was double points for the goal scorer. So
Okay.
it was very crucial for the captain to score and possibly assist, which ended well because I picked Jared Bowen, who scored and assisted as well, and went big with 18 points eventually.
Yeah, captain. No, I don't think I captained him. I bought him in on the last day of the season, which almost would have got me in the top 100k. But the other player I was going to get in was Sameo, and if I'd got him in, I would have been in the top 100ks. We had very
Yeah.
different experiences with Bowen there.
Yeah.
So just to go on to the challenges themselves, each game week. What would you say your favourite challenge was last season?
Well, as I said already, my favorite challenge was in game
You
week
did, yeah.
17. Yeah, I scored. I made a huge rank jump in that game week.
Yeah.
I stood 73rd globally, and you can understand that
Definitely.
this game week was very huge for my overall rank.
And what do you think the worst challenge was?
I really disliked a game week where FPL introduced a challenge where we could pick promoted team players from promoted teams only, because I
Yeah.
believe there is a certain trend now in Premier League that clubs promoted from the championship get their PR money and don't reinvest it in their clubs. So they are doing quite bad. You can see in the last 2 years that the promoted teams have been relegated again. So FPL should have understood that, and they should have understood that the weakest players play for the promoted clubs. And I think I talked with a couple of people in comments and texts they said to me that they really lost interest in FPL Challenge in that game week,
Yeah.
because they didn't feel interested at all picking players from opponent clubs. I think it is wrong to restrict your picks from a certain club. You could have introduced a challenge where the players from promoted clubs score double points or triple points, but restricting players, I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think FPL should repeat that in next season.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, you're not really going to be thinking about players from promoted clubs for your normal team. You're going to have to go and do a lot of research for that sort of thing, aren't you? And it's just not.
Yeah,
There's no motive. There's not really. You're not going to think they're going to score big points. So there's not really much
yeah,
motivation,
definitely.
is there?
Definitely. If I'm not wrong, the highest points in that game week was 27 only. And I myself scored only 9 points. So you can understand by that how low scoring that game week was.
That's
People
terrible.
don't like low scoring game weeks.
Yeah. So what does it feel like being the challenge champion? And I mean, obviously you're still going to be motivated in the main game because you want to win that now as well. You want to do the double, as it were. But will you be playing FPL Challenge next year? How will your motivation? What will it be like next year?
Definitely, I would love to play the FPL Challenge next season as well. And winning the FPL Challenge, it feels different because although if I be honest with you, um, I don't think it is the same as being the FPL Classic champion, since FPL Challenge is not as famous and sought after format since it is new. But it feels great, especially because I believe that I have made at least a tiny impact in my nation's footballing scenario. Many people have come to know about the Premier League and the Fantasy Premier League and these sort of games, and they're already excited about it next season. So I think this will certainly make an impact in the passion for football in the near future.
Definitely, definitely. So let's move on to talk about that a bit. Just a reminder, if you are listening live, if you've got any questions for Zawad, please put them in the chat and we'll cover them at the end. So as you say, I mean, we said we'd talk about this. I did send all these questions to Zawad before he came on, so I'm not jumping on him in here with him unprepared. We do know that FPL Challenge is not as popular as the main game. As I said, it's got 11 million overall registered FPL players for the main game, 2.2 million FPL Challenge players. And to be honest with you, I think by the end of the season, it's probably only 2, maybe 3 million active FPL main players.
Well, according to Wikipedia, it's 2.2 million.
2.2 million, yeah. So
Yeah.
I imagine Challenge would probably be even less than that come the end of the season, because a lot of people are going to give up after a few game weeks. So, I mean, why do you think it's not looked on as favourably as the main game?
Well, I have pointed out some reasons. First of all, I think this is because this format is new, and people tend to take time adapting to a new format and new game. So I think it will take time, but definitely the Fantasy Premier League Authority and Premier League should take some certain steps in order to ensure that this game does not die out.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think that there was not enough marketing about the prices, because I think to a certain level, prices excite you and motivate you to play a game. Um, and I think if the marketing was done right, more people would have come to play the game. After I won the challenge, when official Premier League, official FPL made out the announcement in Twitter and Facebook, many people came to know that the prizes were the same as the FPL Classic winner, and they they thought that if they said that if they knew, they would have played more seriously. So this proves that enough marketing was not done.
I think.
And thirdly, I think sorry to interrupt you.
I was just thinking. Another thing is, I mean, FPL the main game didn't have 2 million players in its first year, and secondly, I guess there's a sort of there's a prestige that comes with something running. So a part of it's probably just going to be over time. You know, it will get more prestige just from existing, if you like. But sorry, I cut you off there. Your third reason, man.
No, it's all right. It's all right. The third reason was I think FPL ran out of ideas at one point, because they came out with the same sort of challenges, the same sort of rules. I think they should have thought about it in the very beginning or beforehand. And if I don't know if many people noticed it or not, I saw that they took a long time to declare the challenge of the last game week. I think they did it only 3 or 4 days before the game week deadline. So this is very, I think they were not serious from their end and not professional enough from their end.
Yeah,
to start with.
If they're almost treating it as an afterthought, it's difficult then to try and get the player base to treat it as more than an afterthought, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
So promoting it more, getting the challenges out on time, maybe getting rid of some of the less interesting challenges.
Exactly. And making more exciting rules and challenges.
Yeah. I guess it would.
Like I suggested one challenge in my interview with the with FPL with Sam Bonfield, that they could introduce a challenge after the transfer deadline after September 1, that the new players can score double points in a certain game week. So you can have players like Matthias Cunha or potentially Brian Mbeumo in your team scoring double points, and I think this will really excite people.
What would you encourage people? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Would you encourage people to take FPL Challenge more seriously next season? I mean, considering if they're watching this, especially, they're going to be pretty hardcore fans. They're going to be playing the main game. Would you encourage them to take that 5 or 10 minutes after each deadline to make sure they play around, even if that's all it is?
Yes, definitely, because I think FPL Challenge gives you an escape from the boring one transfer per week game format. I'm not saying that you should stop playing FPL Classic, because this is the main game. This is the spine of FPL. But I think FPL Challenge gives you a different excitement. And especially when you log in to make transfers after seeing the lineups, I think that really gives you a certain kick and a different sort of fun in the FPL game.
And final question I got down, Zawad. What tips would you give someone to win, to be your successor at FPL Challenge next year? I mean, if you don't mind sharing the tips, because obviously...
Yeah, definitely. Although I do not think I can give away certain tips, but I would say consistency and not forgetting to log in before every game, especially after the lineups are announced, because this is the time when you can see the team sheets and determine the zonal weaknesses and find out which players may go big in that game. So I think that really helped me, and it will help you too.
Is that when? Interesting. I should put this in the script. Is that when you made your challenges? Did you generally make your challenges after you'd made your standard FPL moves, or did you think about it earlier in the week? Oh, you did. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess
I thought about it earlier in the week. I made a rough team in every game. But after the main FPL deadline, when the team sheets were announced, I went in and saw the teams and tried to find out the zonal weaknesses. And I predicted which players may score or assist. And I transferred in those certain players.
Awesome. It's quite similar to the main sort of things you should really be doing for your main FPL team then as well, isn't it?
Yeah. But due to rules and restrictions, you cannot do that in FPL.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Zawad. Before we finish, I know you said that you're starting your own YouTube channel. Is that right?
Yes, I started my own FPL challenge YouTube channel.
It's going to be specific to challenge.
It is specific to challenge, but I think I would try to put some content regarding FPL as well, because I think these are all similar things and intertwined with each other. So I'm hopeful for the future, and I would ask people to possibly get subscribed and tune in for the next season, because I will try to bring up some exciting content. And tips for the next season.
Because you didn't tell me you had the YouTube channel, I've not managed to put it in the description yet. I'll do that when we finish recording. But do you want to say the channel's name?
Yeah, it's FPL and Zawad, as it is written in my name title here. Is the exact spelling, and I just opened it, not really put any content there, but I will try to ramp it up. As the season starts. Yeah, close to when the season starts.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on, mate. You're always welcome to join me on one of my preview streams or reaction streams when the season gets going, if you'd be up for it.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for having me. It's a real honor because, especially when I went through your channel, I saw that you previously interviewed some really big FPL content creators like Andy and Dan. I follow them. I have been following them since a really long time. So it was great to realize that I'm in the same position as they were not so long before. So thank you so much for giving me the honor.
No, if it's my honor to have an FPL champion on here. Thanks so much,
Thank
mate.
you.
So yeah, please do check out Zawad's channel. I will put a link to that in the description as soon as I have finished recording. In terms of my own channel, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Andrew on. Hopefully, it's not 100% confirmed yet. FPL Nightmare on Friday, where it's gonna be something a bit different. We're basically going to talk about our first experiences of creating FPL content for our first seasons, because we've only been going 3 years, Awad. And we're also going to have a quick look, chat about the fixtures in that as well. So I think hopefully that will be at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Please like to help get the video out there. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching, everyone. Cheers.